Welcome to Justice for All. Today I am here with one of the strongest and profound personality, Muhammad Haseeb Jamali Saab. He is Advocate Supreme Court. He has 22 years of experience in litigation sector. Apart from that, his father was the ex-Chief Justice of Pakistan, and interestingly, his mother served as a former High Court judge. Moreover, he was also affiliated with the bar politics. In 2020, he was elected as a General Secretary Sindh High Court Bar Association, and now Sir is, actively preparing for the candidate of President Sindh High Court Bar Association. So, sir, thank you so much for giving us your precious time.
It's my pleasure, and thank you for having you and giving me an opportunity to reach your audience. Thank you.
So my first question, today we will discuss about your journey in law as well as in politics. So first question from you is, at the beginning of your career, what motivated you to choose your career in law, and at initial stage, what sort of challenges you faced, and how you cope up with all those sophisticated challenges?
Well, my story is a little different, and it is not that sophisticated, but it is a bit different story. I'll tell you that my parents encouraged me to become a civil engineer.
Oh, that's great.
And they also got me an admission in NED so that I can become a civil engineer. But I had this passion for law. They were of the opinion that maybe this profession is not very suited for you. And but I took it as a challenge that my grandfather, my father and my mother all belong from the field of law. So I took it up as a challenge to prove myself that no, I can be successful in this profession and I can cope with the pressure of this profession and perform. And alhamdulillah, it's going fine. So that is the answer of the first part of your question. The second part is that what inspired me was the question?
Yeah. To choose this profession.
To choose this profession. Well, to be very honest and fair, I'm from Hyderabad, and it's a small city, and my inspiration was my grandfather. Because I always saw everybody respecting him so much all across the city. Wherever he would go, people would stand up, would meet him, and I always saw him working hard for the public's right, for the public rights. There were clients in our office who used to come from different cities who used to even stay at night in our office. So if you would get up at 4 a.m. in the morning and for a glass of water, and we would look down, because we were at the second floor of the house, and we would look down at my grandfather's office, we would see that daftar ki light khuli hui hoti thi. So you see, that was the level of hard work which I saw. So that sort of service aspect of the profession always inspired me to do something which is not only for your benefit of your personal self, but also for the society. That inspired me.
Mashallah, you spent 22 years of your life in litigation sectors. So my question is related litigation. It's like, according to your notion, what are the burning issues right now, and according to your opinion, what are the best possible solutions, to improve litigation system in Pakistan?
The biggest burning issue I feel right now is the case management and the procedures which were developed more than a century ago. We are still following the same processes which were developed when the colonial mindset was there. We are following the same processes. The countries which had developed the common law in these processes have moved ahead. They have amended their procedures, made them more effective, time-wise, cost-wise, but in our country, we have not made any efforts, very small efforts here and there just to improve the system, and which is minimalistic. The mindset has not changed. I'll give you an example. And this is not just a recent phenomenon that the cases take a lot of time to be decided. There is a case in which I'm doing an execution right now. I'll tell you, that case was filed in the year 1964. And it was decided by then High Court in 1985 or 86. So even in those times, when there was not so much litigation burden, it took Sindh High Court, which is one of the top high courts of Pakistan, it took them about 21 years to just decide a suit. Then its appeal was decided in year 2001. And in the Supreme Court, it was decided in 2016. 2 generations went by, and my client is still stuck with the execution of that order. So you see, it is not a new phenomenon, that the case management issue, but it is something which we have not addressed properly. We need to fill the loopholes in the system. There are so many loopholes in the system. We, in courts, face so many, what I will not say judicial functions, but clerical or paralegal functions which are being performed by the court. They should not be performed by the court. They should be registrars who should be performing. आज टाइम ले लिया जाता है काउंटर फाइल करने का, आज टाइम ले लिया जाता है रिजॉइंडर फाइल करने का, आज कोर्ट में फिक्स होता है केस तो ये देखा जाता है सर्विस हुई है नहीं हुई. दिस शुड नॉट बी द जॉब ऑफ द जज. द जॉब ऑफ द जज शुड बी व्हेन द केस इज राइट, it should be fixed before him for hearing. Right now, judges are doing this job, which is burdening them tremendously. You see, and this is the reason why the backlog is growing and growing. And there is no end to it. So, we need to take revolutionary steps to fix these procedural things, which I believe is not necessary. अब service held good करना, आपको एक सिविल जज लाकर लगा दें रजिस्ट्रार के तौर पे, वो ये प्रोसीजर्स कर ले. ये हाई कोर्ट की जज नहीं करना है कि सर्विस हेड गुड 1.5 महीने बाद केस लगता है, वो इसी चीज पे एडजर्न हो जाता है. सो यू सी, दीज आर द सीरियस इश्यूज which are needed to be addressed, which are not being addressed at all. We are not just, वो एक होता है ना, going through the motion. Every day we are going through the motion. आजकल the name of the case is obtaining stay. Is obtaining stay in our high court. Cases chalte hi hain. In the last 2 years, despite trying in so many cases, I've only been able to proceed with 2 cases of arguments of original sites. Only 2 cases. So you can just imagine how much burden is developing, because filing of litigation is not stopping. It is an ongoing process, but the disposal is the problem. Then on the other hand, there is now a method where they are trying to, वो कहते हैं ना कि justice hurried is justice buried. Now developing schemes like model courts, where they have put model court judges in a rat race. जो ज़्यादा disposal करेगा उसे award दिए. They should look at the quality of the judgments, not the quantity of the judgments. But यहाँ पे judges को encourage किया जा रहा है, डिस्ट्रिक्ट जुडिशरी की, आप कितना ज्यादा डिस्पोजल करते हैं. They should read those judgments. Are they providing justice? Are they properly deciding a case? Because deciding a case takes an effort. But right now, इस तरीके की चीजें करके, I am of the opinion कि this is very bad for the judicial system जो हमारे यहाँ तरीके किए जा रहे हैं. अब many judges to do disposal are indulging in the practice, पहले भी होता होगा, they are becoming super technical to knock out people of their legal rights on pretext of technicalities which are not of any meaningful nature. एक technicality वो होती है which would result in some serious consequence for the parties. एक technicality वो होती है which could be overcome. हमारे यहाँ courts इन चीजों में कुछ लग गई है डिस्पोजल करने के लिए कि बस टेक्निकलिटीज पे करना है. सो ये भी बहुत गलत ट्रेंड शुरू हो गया है, जस्ट टू मेक श्योर दैट देयर इज सीरियस डिस्पोजल. तो द सिस्टम इज रिक्वायर्स ओवरहॉलिंग राइट नाउ, एंड नॉट सिंपलिस्टिक ओवरहॉलिंग. इट रिक्वायर्स अ चेंज ऑफ माइंडसेट फ्रॉम द जुडिशरी, फ्रॉम द लॉयर्स कम्युनिटी. एवरीवन हैज टू टेक पार्ट. अदरवाइज this profession, no litigant will come to court to get their adjudication. They will look for different avenues to get their matters resolved. So this is the dilemma we are facing right now. I think.
Yeah, I think, sir, the liability is on both judiciary as well as advocacy, because these are two pillars. When both pillars work together, then I think we will be capable to bring some sort of good arrangement. As I already mentioned that your father was the ex-Chief Justice of Pakistan and your mother remained as a former High Court judge. So what key piece of advices you got from them regarding your profession?
Well, to be honest, the only advice they gave me is to put my head down and to work hard.
Yeah.
This is the main advice I got from them. The other advice I got from them, don't run after money, run after work, do quality work, and everything will follow. So these were the real two advices, and I was lucky in the sense that I joined Mr. Abid Zubairi as my senior, and he took me under his wings. He did not treat me like a junior. He did not treat me like an associate. He treated me like a son, to be honest, and made us work hard. And he was a hard taskmaster, but a hard taskmaster resulted in today I'm having a good practice. So these were the advices from my parents, and then the role of Abid Sahib in my career.
I think initial tutor or guider is the gist towards your profession. So I can completely understand. So you always remain as a general secretary Sindh High Court Bar Association. So my next question is, like, during your tenure, what sort of best things were done in your tenure? If you can highlight some of the crucial aspects.
Yes. Well, I will give you a few examples.
Yeah.
It was not only me, because I was only one of the secretary, but there was President Saab, Zia Makhdoom Saab, and there was a whole committee, and everybody made efforts in running this bar in the best possible way. And few things which I can tell you with some pride, steps that we took was, one of the initiatives was to empower our female lawyers, our female colleagues, and because we noticed that on the notice board, on the honor board, they were or maybe there was only one female lawyer who had ever held any position of authority as a secretary. So what we did to encourage them is create a new position, additional joint secretary, women's affairs, so that always in every election there will be voice from our female colleagues in the committee room. It is not necessary there to be like, but with this position, exclusively from them, there would be voice of females in the committee room, which was not the case in every committee which used to come. This was one of the things we did.
Empowering women is one of the
one of the things, giving them opportunity to grow and everything develop, because mashallah we have seniors like Madam Ismat Mehdi, we have seniors like Madam Nahid Shahid, we have seniors like Madam Naveen Merchant, Madam Roxana Ahmed, Justice retired. So there are good examples, but they are few and far between. So we want to give them an opportunity to get into bar politics as well, so that their point of view is always there with the bar. So this was one of the things. Then another dynamic thing that we tried to do, and the main catalyst behind this was our president, Mr. Ziaul Makhdoom. That was that we introduced bikes for women. And it was not no funds were taken from the bar. It was all funds taken from the pocket of our president, myself, the secretary, few of our senior friends, my parents, and we got about 45 bikes, and we did balloting, called for our female colleagues to enlist themselves who are interested in learning to ride bike, who are interested in riding the bike. तो उस सारे का हमने इंतज़ाम किया, बाकायदा उसकी हमने बैलेटिंग कराई सीनियर ख़वातीन वकलास और जजेस से, फिर उनको बाइक्स भी दी, उनकी ड्राइविंग की ट्रेनिंग भी कराई. तो these were the steps we took just to
merit के basis पे था या इस basis पे?
नहीं, it was everything was a merit, because merit was balloting. It was open balloting. We called the judges and we called the senior female lawyers to take out the names from the bag. There were about 500 applicants.
Amazing.
So these are certain things we tried to do to empower them and give them some new direction and make them feel part of the society. Then another thing we tried to do was that to recognize our minorities and give them some recognition as well. And for that we also faced some backlash from certain quarters in our bar. One of the things we did was that हमने जब Christmas थी, we arranged for a beautiful cake for our colleagues from Christian faith कि वो आएं और अपने cake cutting ceremony करें हमारे bar room में. So there are not many Christian lawyers, but many of them are very close to our heart. So we arranged them so that they should also feel part of this bar. They should be recognized, because mostly functions are done for everyone but not for minorities. So we try to do this as
inclusion
well.
Is,
inclusion, and then make them feel that we are
part
all close.
System. You are not living in an isolated system.
To give them, we took a step forward to show them that you are important to us, you are close to us, and we all are close. So ये हमने जैसे किया. Then unfortunately, in the mid of our tenure, we were stuck with COVID. The world was stuck with COVID, and then we took serious steps in COVID. And I can take pride in this, alhamdulillah. And it is all thanks to the seniors from the bar as well, that they trusted me and our committee with these things. We did not wait for the government to give us funds. We generated our own funds. And the program was by the lawyers for the lawyers. We collected 45 lakhs plus for the lawyers, from the lawyers, and gave those 45 lakhs in a very transparent manner to our needy brothers and sisters.
I think idea is more important.
Yes.
Revenue with the passage of time, everything will be, sort out in a manner. But idea is important to bring them.
But at that time, the problem was many bar associations were fighting with the government to give us funds so that we should give it to our lawyers. We took it upon ourselves. I went to all my friend lawyers, insisted them, dragged them, पैसे दे, लिए उनसे किसी से 2 लाख, किसी से 5 लाख, किसी से 1 लाख, and वो सब generate करके fund generate किया, and then we made a list. There were about 890 applicants in that, and transparently we distributed in the order of application. We distributed in amongst those, but without hurting anybody's respect. कि किसी को ये नहीं पता चला कि किसी को चेक देते हुए तस्वीर खींच रही है. आज तक किसी ने कोई ऐसी चीज नहीं देखी होगी, किसी ने नाम नहीं पढ़े होंगे किन वकीलों को मिले, क्योंकि आप सिर्फ 10,000 का अमाउंट दे रहे हैं ताकि उसकी सब्सिस्टेंस हो जाए कुछ महीनों के लिए या 2 महीने के लिए, 1 महीने, लेकिन उसकी इज्जत को मजरू ना करें उस आदमी की, उसकी प्रोटेक्शन करें. इसी तरीके से हमने उन वकीलों के भी, बल्कि मैं आपको ये भी बताना चाहूँ, कुछ जजेस ने भी उस पर हमें फंड्स दिए, लेकिन उन्होंने कहा हमारे नाम मत लीजिएगा प्लीज आप. सो इट वॉज अ कलेक्टिव एफर्ट. And not only this, we also created funds, about 10 lakhs for the bar staff, and we distributed in the bar staff as well, जो हमें चाय पिलाते हैं या जो किचन में काम करते हैं. So we did these things, didn't wait for the government to do it. We took it upon ourselves, met our friends, took this decision, and then moved forward and distributed amongst our lawyers. And it was, at that time, it was crucial for many of them. So alhamdulillah, that is something I can take pride. Then I created SOPs, not waiting for the High Court to make SOPs. I made SOPs for the COVID, for the courts and everyone. Alhamdulillah, अभी भी अगर आप लोग अदालतों में जाएं तो बहुत से नोटिस बोर्ड्स पे मेरे सिग्नेचर्स के साथ वो कोविड के अभी भी लगे हुए होंगे. तो alhamdulillah, we tried in these directions. Then another thing we tried to do is not to utilize bar funds for any functions. Any recreational activity, may it be Qawwali, may it be Ghazal, may it be any outing, extracurricular, lectures or anything, we did not utilize a single rupee from the bar funds. We did it from our own pockets. Because we owe a lot to this bar. Today if we are something, it is because of this bar, these courts. So my president, who was of the same view, he, me and some other friends contributed. The expense for the annual dinner function was about 30 lakhs.
Huge amount.
It's a huge amount, but not a single rupee came from the bar. It was all done from our friends. We caught some sponsors. We did not burdening the bar, because that is an amanat for us. Those funds, those things are amanat. So this is how we try to run the bar in the most transparent. हमने housing के rules बनाए कि housing की society को किस तरह चीजें करनी है, selling के उसके plots के rules बनाए. In these kind of things हमने और भी बहुत सी चीजें की, लेकिन unfortunately वो materialize नहीं हुई, because जो है वो कुछ ताबू नहीं हुआ जुडिशरी की तरफ से. उनकी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कमेटी की मीटिंग ही नहीं हुई जिसमें वो चीज़ें पुट अप हों. हमने सर्विस के रूल्स बना के दिए इनको, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सर्विस के जो अब चीज़ें होना शुरू हो रही हैं उस वक्त हमने बना के दिए थे हाई कोर्ट की आईटी ब्रांच के साथ बैठ के. इस तरीके के हमने. अब जैसे एक और बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग बात मैं आपको बताऊं कि अब जो ट्रेनिंग्स होती हैं वकीलों की, ये पहले कभी सिंध जुडिशल एकेडमी में नहीं होती थी. वी वर द फर्स्ट वंस that I went and requested Justice Muhammad Haseeb Jamali, who was at that time, who was heading the institute, who was the head of the institute, and I requested him कि सर इसका दरवाज़ा आप वकीलों के लिए भी खोल दीजिए. तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, only in my tenure, several hundreds of lawyers across Sindh were trained at Sindh Judicial Academy for the first time. फिर ये चीज़ें Federal Judicial Academy. So अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, I take pride के एक हमने रास्ता खोला कि चीज़ को आगे बढ़ाया. फिर एक और चीज़ which is close to my heart is saving a tree. there was an old banyan tree in our high court. जब बहुत तूफानी बारिशें थी तो गिर गया था, and it was huge tree. It was several decades old tree. We contacted the wildlife department. उधर एक मेहर साहब होते हैं. We took his advice. We brought crane, we cut the tree in a way that it can be fixed. And uski roots grow karane ke liye, we took efforts. Alhamdulillah, today the tree is standing there and it's growing, alhamdulillah. And it was such a huge tree that it could not have been refixed in the original position. We had to cut it. So High Court ne to direction di thi ki isko chop karke, लेकिन we saved that tree. और उसमें भी हफ्तों हम उसको बॉईल करके रूट्स का पानी उसके it was some achievement. It was something कि that tree, इतने लोग उसकी साई के नीचे खड़े होते थे. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह आज तक लोग मुझे कहते हैं कि आपने उस दरख्त को बचाया. And it is something close to my heart.
So I really appreciate all the efforts taken during your tenure. Last question, you are contesting for the candidate for the president, Sindh High Court Bar Association. So what are the crucial plays in your mind if you will be elected?
Well, most crucial things in my mind is the welfare of lawyers, because you see there is serious induction of lawyers in our court now, and the numbers are growing by the day, and there is not much to protect and provide for the youngsters, to harness their talent, to give them opportunities. I have certain plans in my mind which I want to execute so that this younger lot which is coming, they should not be dejected. They should be like I was given an opportunity. I will try to give them an opportunity so that our profession grows, intellectually it grows, good people should be allowed to rise and all these things. So number one thing is that I want welfare of the bar, or especially of the youngsters. Then for the elder lawyers as well, I have certain things in my mind which inshallah if given an opportunity I'll try to do कि उनकी subsistence हो. You see, this is a profession where if you're earning, you're earning. If you're not earning, you're nothing. Like I give an example to people that in this profession वो अंग्रेजी का एक मुहावरा होता है bed of roses. ठीक है. इस profession में either you have the bed or the roses. You cannot have both. या तो आप फारे हैं, कोई वकालत ही नहीं है आपकी, या वकालत है तो टाइम नहीं है, मगर रोजेस में भी कांटे होते हैं. So it's not an easy thing. So I want कि हमारी जो ओल्डर जनरेशन है, खासतौर पे वो लोग जो सब्सिस्ट नहीं कर सकते, उनकी सब्सिस्टेंस के लिए भी कुछ प्रॉपर मैकेनिज्म किया जाए. तो एक तो चीज़ ये. दूसरी जो हमारी बार का हॉलमार्क है, दैट इज protecting independence of judiciary and protecting the principles and rule of law, which I think is by the day now lacking in our bar. अब मेजर इश्यूज पे बार बहुत सी दफ़ा खामोश होती है. They are not taking any stand. A bar should be not a cafeteria. It should be like an opposition to the government. They should be calling out them कि ये गलत कानून बन रहा है, ये चीज़ आप गलत कर रहे हैं. They should file cases. They should fight for the rule of law. They should be the people who should be guiding the whole society. But right now, that role is also lacking. I would want कि वो रोल भी वापस आए बाहर का, कि हमारा जो सिस्टम है, जो हमारी, क्योंकि दर्जनों जजमेंट्स सिंध हाई कोर्ट बार के नाम से रिपोर्ट हुए हैं, लेकिन अब अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो ट्रेंड ज़रा डिक्लाइन हो रहा है. एंड इट शुड नॉट डिक्लाइन, इट शुड भी. जितनी ज्यादतियाँ और गलत चीज़ें हो रही हैं उतना ही बार का स्टैंड स्ट्रॉन्ग होना चाहिए. सो आई बिलीव कि उस चीज़ के ऊपर भी हमें रीवैम्प करना है. वी शुड गो बैक टू आवर ओल्ड गुड स्ट्रॉन्ग क्वालिटीज एंड थिंग्स दैट वी आर नोन फॉर. सो ये चीज़ें हैं. फिर उसके अलावा आई थिंक बार शुड ऑल्सो प्ले रोल इन समहाउ इम्प्रूविंग द जुडिशियल सिस्टम, कि हम हाईलाइट करें वो चीज़ें जो जुडिशियल सिस्टम की दुरुस्त की जा सकती हैं. We should not restrict ourselves to the bar, but these courtrooms, because we, as you said, we are one of the pillars of the bar. These courtrooms are also dependent on us because we are part of the system. So we should give suggestions. We should show the path to our judges so that these committees are made for improving the systems, the procedures, so that this profession is saved for the future. Otherwise, I don't know what we are leaving for our future generations in this profession. These are the main ideas which I have.
Yeah, so actually one recommendation from my end is like we are living in a digitalized world, right?
Yes.
But still we are far away. So I think there should be some sort of, digital based system where you can easily file your cases. So it will save a lot of time. This is just my recommendation.
This is a very good recommendation. I tell you, in KPK, for the past several years, there is a system when you are filing a case, you have to file a soft copy in a USB as well. And that soft copy saves paper, saves a lot of environment. Because अगर 10 defendants हैं 10 copies बननी है, अब वो USB सबको email कर दी जाएगी. So every defendant will get a copy of the case.
And time management
will save, resources will be saved. So हमें ना सिर्फ इस पे जाना, बल्कि हमें अपने IT के सिस्टम को भी ज़्यादा enhance करना. अब हमारे यहाँ सालों सर्विस में मैटर्स लगे रहते हैं कि जी अब इस डिफेंडेंट पे हो गई, उस पे नहीं हुई. वी शुड गो फॉर सर्विस, जो अब शुरू हो गया हाई कोर्ट में. कुछ जजेस ने उसको इम्प्लीमेंट भी करना शुरू किया, जो बहुत खुशाइन बात है कि व्हाट्सएप के थ्रू सर्विस करें आप. ईमेल्स के एटलीस्ट डिपार्टमेंट्स में तो हो सकती हैं ये चीज़ें. उनका फोकल पर्सन अपॉइंट कर दिया जाए कि जी एक दिन में अगर बोर्ड ऑफ रेवेन्यू के खिलाफ इतने ऑर्डर्स पास हुए तो वो डिजिटली भेज दिए जाए. ये सर्टिफाइड कॉपीज लेने का प्रोसेस ही कम हो जाएगा. ये जो टीडीएस चीज़ें हैं, ये बहुत सी चीज़ें ओवरकम की जा सकती हैं विद दिस डिजिटलाइजेशन एज यू सेड. और केस मैनेजमेंट में भी ये बहुत ज़रूरी चीज़ है कि लोगों को ट्रांसपेरेंसी दिखे. अभी हमारे पास सिस्टम तो है फॉर द पास्ट फ्यू ईयर्स, बट देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ लकूनास. A lot of it can be improved with modernization of this system. So I think bar should play their role in being a helping hand for the judiciary in improving these systems. But eventually we all are there to serve the litigants. अगर उनको ही हम serve नहीं कर पा रहे, then it's a failure.
Sir, my team, good wishes are with you for your election campaign, and inshallah we will hear good news very soon. Thank you so much for your time and commitment. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you.